Welcome to There's Layers to This, a live show streaming every Tuesday that blends Web3, art, toads, and lasagna level commentary. Hosted by Valerie and Creatress, the show breaks down blockchain, AI, space tech, and more in a casual and fun way. Enjoy the show.
Hello, hi everyone. Welcome to another episode of There's Layers to This. Welcome everybody. This one is definitely going to be a different show because it is our Bitcoin conference Las Vegas recap show. So unfortunately, Creatress couldn't make it with us today, but definitely go check out her recap that she did. That's on our YouTube channel. There's Layers to This. So please go check it out. But welcome back if you have come to the show before. And if this is your first time, There's Layers to This is a show that talks about Web3, art, and toads. We go live every Tuesday around 1 p.m. We're a little late today. But, we definitely love talking about everything from crypto to blockchain to AI, space tech, and sometimes pop culture news. But today, this show is dedicated to the Bitcoin conference. So if you missed the conference, definitely stay tuned in so you can see all the craziness that happened. To give you a little intro on who I am, my name is Valerie, aka V Dizzle. I started in the space back in May of 2021 through VeeFriends, which was Gary Vee's project. I won my first NFT from Gary Vee himself, and I had offers on the secondary market that I could have sold it for at least $140,000, if not more. But guess what? I didn't sell because I was new. I was new to crypto. I did not know things go up and things go down in the market, in the space. But it's all good because it's led me to incredible people and to do incredible things like this show and to start a company. So I started a Web3 event company called Red Rug Edutainment. And I just love getting people together and doing events that I even have my own meetup group here in San Diego called San Diego NFT Friends. So if you're ever in town or you're visiting or you have family and friends, please let them know that I'm here doing these meetups. But I'm really excited because today I will be joined by a special guest co-host, Keegan Escriba. So let's bring him on to the stage. All right. Keegan, welcome to the show. How are you? Oh, you're on mute. Hold on. Let me unmute you. There you go. How are you?
Good. Just trying to fix my background here. But yeah, everything's going well. Thanks for having me. Appreciate everything you're doing for the space and just the communities that you work with. And yeah, I think it should be a good show. I know you've done a lot of work. And yeah, I think the trip that we had was pretty good. And so I'm sure we'll get into it more. And, for those that don't know me, I've been hosting regular spaces, 10KTF Teaching Tuesdays every Tuesday. It's going to be 3 years in August. And I'm just an educator and advocate for the entire space. I try to support all chains and all avenues from artists to devs to community leaders. And so happy to hear what we're going to learn and share today. And, Stand With Crypto is doing amazing things. And so I'm sure we're going to touch on a number of avenues with that.
Yeah, no, it's so awesome to have you on the show. I know that, 10KTF Teaching Tuesdays and your Ground Game Strong is a regular sponsor of our show. So thank you so much for supporting There's Layers to This all this time. And now people who don't know who 10KTF Teaching Tuesdays or Ground Game Strong is, it's you. So thank you so much for all that you do for us. But this conference was definitely special because normally There's Layers to This is just me and Creatress. But this time we were able to bring you on as our camera operator. So there's some funny stories and some craziness that happened with that. But before I share, we're hopefully going to invite some Stand With Crypto representatives. We were supposed to have Mason, who many of you know is the community director. you know that guy is busy. He is helping to lead the charge with crypto policy. So he was being pulled every which way and had a time-sensitive meeting. And if I have to guess, it might be for the Clarity Act. So if you don't know what the Clarity Act, I highly recommend to go look into it. But it does have to do with regulation around digital assets, like airdrops and such. So go take a look, go do some research, and go learn about the Clarity Act. And while you're at it, also go learn about the Genius Act, which is all about regulation on stablecoins. So we love all the work that Mason is doing. We wish him all the best, and thank you so much for the support. This show is sponsored by Stand With Crypto, and actually our whole trip out in Vegas was sponsored by them. So yeah, we'll be talking a lot about them, and hopefully we might get some representatives to come on here and also share about the good work that they're doing in their state. So stay tuned for that. But meanwhile, I think it'll do all of us good if we show the recap video, the highlight recap video of what overall the conference looked like. What do you think, Keegan?
Yeah, I mean, I think that gives a good representation. I mean, you get a little bit of everything from the people, the interviews, the environment, the setting, and then just the overall kind of like feel of how the whole kind of event went, from after party, before party, and during conference. So yeah.
Yeah. So when you watch this video, be mindful, pay attention. One, in the day we're at the conference, at night it's a party, then we're back at the conference doing interviews and back at the party. So you'll see that contrast there. But without further ado, let's hit the highlight recap. GM, we're coming to you from Las Vegas. We're getting ready for the Bitcoin Conference 2025.
The rhythm moves our feet. With every bass drop, we feel the heat. Strobe lights flicker, bodies in a trance. We're lost in the music, caught in the dance. Feel the vibe, let it take control. Tech house beats, they move our souls. Lost in the sound, it makes us whole. Dance in the dark, let the night unfold. This is our anthem, let the story told. Tech house beats, they move house souls. Tell sound, let the story be full.
This is There's Layers to This, and we're closing out. And so, yeah, it was great. Hopefully you guys caught our live streams. Definitely check out our YouTube. There's Layers to This. Subscribe. But you can watch some of the past live streams that we did. We got a lot of great interviews and learned a lot from some of the builders that we got to meet at the press lounge.
A lot. Learned a lot. My brain is like processing.
Yes.
It was a nice, very full week.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like there was not a lot of downtime, and we got to meet a lot of people. We definitely spread the word as much as we could about Stand With Crypto. So really happy about how that worked out. And I do want to remind anyone who might be listening, we are running a giveaway. So like, retweet, comment on all our live streams, and you will be entered to win. Each time, each comment, each like, each repost is
Counts as an entry,
So,
yes.
do it all.
So 2 winners will win $25 of Bitcoin. So don't miss out on this opportunity for free money, free crypto.
Yes.
If you're not already in crypto and you're a winner, we'll be happy to white glove service you and help you set up a wallet and show you how to get crypto there. So don't worry, definitely participate, get involved, and stand with crypto.
Good night.
Bye. Good night.
Gian.
Wow. It's like peacock. Peacock feathers, it reminds me of. Well, there you guys have it. That was the highlight recap video. So yeah, it just takes me back, and I'm always like, I watch that video and I'm just kind of like, whew, that was a lot. And that wasn't even everything, guys. I think like that video would have been an hour long if I had put all the content together. But yeah, that was a lot, and I hope you guys caught it. I hope you guys were paying attention, because this is the show where we're going to announce 2 winners winning Bitcoin. Okay, you could win $25 worth of Bitcoin. All you have to do is go subscribe to the YouTube channel. Okay, so go to youtube.com, search There's Layers to This, and we will pop up. Our channel will, you can't miss the little Lorenzo Cryptoad as our profile picture. You will see him. You don't know what he looks like. He's above me in that corner. That's Lorenzo. He's our little mascot. So go subscribe. And during this show, I'm going to run the wheel of names. And 2 of you, not 1, but 2 of you could be winners of Bitcoin. So it's free money on the table for you guys there. So go and do that. But yeah, I want to bring it over to Keegan and get your thoughts on like just rewatching that video. Like, what does it make you feel?
Yeah, I mean, there's kind of a lot to unpack. I mean, to be honest with you, that trip, the Bitcoin Vegas 2025, I'd say was probably a different experience than I've experienced.
Oh, we lost Keegan on the stream. Oh no, he was just about to get into it. Keegan, if you can hear me, I don't know what happened, but get back on the stream. Oh, wait, he's back.
I don't know what that was.
That
I
was
think my work email had something to do with it, because it went off, and right at that moment it disconnected. That was weird.
That's weird. I was about to say, I was like, oh, maybe it's like the aliens intercepting. You know, we just came back from Vegas.
They just don't want the info. They don't want the info getting out. No, as I was saying, yeah, I think that like overall, like it was a different experience for me, you know, compared to other trips that we've been on, from Miami Art Basel to NFT NYC to ETH Denver. You know, this was something different, on top of the fact that there was more of a work trip. On top of the fact I hadn't been to Vegas for probably like 10, 11 years, something like that. So it was definitely different. And I feel like seeing the sights and sounds, not only of Vegas, a little bit in front, but it was more so like, hey, we're here, we're covering like Bitcoin, we're interviewing people, we're seeing what's being built, we're learning who's being the leaders and who's showing up, and just everything that's kind of happening around the ecosystem. And so being able to see that firsthand, you can feel the energy. Like you can feel the energy of a lot of the people that are invested with like the political side, and like the people trying to move legislation, like, and just a lot of people came through in a really neat way. And I feel like with Bitcoin conferences, it's a little bit of a different flavor compared to, as I said, some of the other ones that I mentioned. And it's not in a negative way. It's just something different. Like, and you can really see it firsthand. And there was definitely more art this time compared to last year in Bitcoin Nashville.
Right.
So I'd say, yeah, I mean, I think it was good overall. And we met some really good people. And I learned a lot, honestly.
No, yeah, I definitely agree with you that this conference definitely has a different feel to like NFT conferences or Solana or Ethereum, right? Other chains, ETH Denver, right? All of them have their pros, but This was my second, I think both of our second time going back to the conference, Bitcoin conference, because last year was our very first one when it was in Nashville. So it was kind of like a no-brainer. We had to go because it's in our backyard, from California to Nevada. We're going from San Diego. So that's like about a 5-6 hour drive. If you're in LA, it's about a 4-hour drive. So it's doable, so we couldn't miss out on this opportunity. And again, thank you so much to Stand with Crypto for believing in our vision and supporting us in bringing the conference to all of you who are at home and couldn't make it. I really think live stream is the direction that us as creators should be going in, because obviously there's a target audience for short form and long form content, but people's attention goes in all different directions. Sometimes people just want to know what's going on in the here and now, and I think that's why live streams are so great. And another form of press, we definitely got to speak with a lot of important people at the conference. As you could have seen, if you saw in the recap video, let me actually put it back up real quick. Hopefully, GM, we're coming to you. Okay, let me fast forward. So that's me and Creatress at the Welcome to Vegas sign. Very iconic. But yeah, you could see here we began day one talking with some important people. So here we have Mason, Community Director of Stand with Crypto for the whole US. We got to speak with him, and I really liked his main message is the work that he's doing. If you don't know about Stand with Crypto, there are grassroots advocacy group that helps to move momentum in the right direction for crypto through policy, through regulation with our our congressmen and people who represent the politics there. And so his important job, because you're like, why would you need community for that? Obviously, we as the people have voices, we are voters, but one of the main key things I think he mentioned in this interview was that it's important to humanize crypto to these people like Senate who are in their offices all day. And usually the way they receive information about crypto is what they read in the headlines, right? Or maybe talking to some of their constituents, their colleagues, right? And they may not be receiving the best and positive news about what's happening on the crypto, on blockchain. So his job is super important to show up with actually all of these chapter presidents that they have across the state to go to the Capitol and to showcase, hey, crypto has a face. It's not all digital. There are real humans behind here who see the power of crypto, the opportunities of crypto, and of course the builders. There's real builders who are improving the technology every day, and that this is something that's needed and powerful for all U.S. citizens, right? I don't know, Keegan, I know you were the camera operator. Was there any thoughts or impact that you felt like watching this unfold?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, Staying with Crypto is going to be a major cornerstone. I mean, they already kind of are like driving the conversation. They are like really the ones that are helping to move things in the right direction. They're connecting with the people. They're connecting with them at a different level than maybe other companies or other nonprofits where they're right there out in the field supporting the people at different levels. And on top of it, they're also like not the middleman, but also the ones that are kind of like seated at the table with the people that are helping to shape legislation and help advocate from like the actual end where the people are going to be voting and moving things along in the direction. So they're a key player. And I think that they are starting to just continue to grow more and more. And I think like having Mason, like he's becoming, in my opinion, more of the face of it. He's out there. I saw some other tweets about him saying that they're going to have some college chapters coming now. So it's like they're doing the right things. They have the right feel. The logo's cool. I like purple, so I think it's nice. I got some really cool pins from that. But yeah, I think that it's good leadership, and so getting a chance to kind of be a part of that is something special. And so yeah, I'm here for it.
Yes, we're definitely here for it. And this is really good timing because I've got a guest backstage. And after we interviewed Mason, we actually got to speak with Carrie. So let me go to the video where we're speaking with her. I just passed her. There she is. All right. So this is Carrie, aka Miss Nifty. She is one of the Stand with Crypto chapter presidents representing California. And so let's actually bring her on stage and hear from this wonderful, powerful woman to talk about the interview and her experience while we have her here. I know her time is limited, so let's get her up on stage. Carrie, are you there?
I am. Oh, wait. Let me see. There I go.
Hi.
Hello. Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday. One of the things I've learned about Carrie and getting to work with her is that every message she starts with happy and then the day of the week. So happy Monday or happy Friday, doesn't matter. But I love that about you.
I'm learning that about me now too.
Well, yeah, I feel like it's your signature, but what a great way to like start with positivity. So how are you? How are you feeling? Are you rested now from the conference or are you still moving?
I am rested from the conference. I would be remiss if I didn't address all of the turmoil going on in Los Angeles, where I am now. But yeah, so, we're dealing with assisting community members here and thinking of and coming up with ways that specifically the Web3 community can come together, because we are innovation as a whole, right? And most community members that are being impacted are not on this side of the technology. And so there are things that we can do to help in various ways. And so that's kind of like my immediate thing right now, and where my energy is going towards. So I think that I'm refueled from Bitcoin Vegas and now on to current events for our local community.
Yeah, no, I know you do a lot of work for, underrepresented communities. I know that you have, the Learnville app. And so I definitely recommend everybody, please go check out the interview. It's on our YouTube that we have with Carrie. But for those of you who don't know, I would love for you, Carrie, to just give a quick, intro synopsis of what you're doing with Learnville.
Sure. Learnville is an edtech platform. It targets on educating underserved communities as a whole. We are nationwide. Our pillars of education are mental health, financial literacy, Web3, and future-proof career paths. And so a part of this comes from what is the question I ask is, what is our social responsibility being in Web3 to provide for the next generation or those that are not aware about the space? And so we partner with leaders of said industries and create courses. And then upon completion of said courses, they get a certificate that's on chain that LinkedIn acknowledges. So community members have a higher earning power and a trust factor immediately after taking courses.
That's awesome. Really awesome work. Keegan, I don't know if you wanted to comment, because I know you being a teacher, and providing education. Yeah, I would love to hear some of your thoughts real quickly about it.
Yeah, I mean, I think anybody that, is helping to move the space forward on top of just providing education, like it's super valuable. And not everybody takes the time to do that. A lot of people just, try to make money as quick as they can, unfortunately, in the space. But there are individuals like Carrie that are trying to help, put some pillars there to help actually guide people that don't know, that just the basics, just the fundamentals. And having any tools to do that, I think, is super valuable, because you're not going to learn about this in your regular classrooms, like at campuses, at universities. Like it's not there yet, but like all this stuff that like Stand with Crypto is doing, it's going to help normalize that. and to kind of be ahead of it, in my opinion, Carrie. I think like what you're doing is just really great work, and on top of all the advocacy and leading the charge in LA and California, like you're doing good stuff, and I'm glad that we're able to help support where we can.
Yeah, of course. I appreciate that. We're actually also going to be we're all over, right? And the initiatives are throughout the United States. So during NFT NYC and Permissionless, we will be hosting youth in New York. So we have a day with them at NFT NYC, the actual conference.
Oh, wow.
And then we have a day with them at Mercer Labs, which is the tech and art museum in New York. That's really amazing. I'm excited about. And coming up out here, actually in the state of California, we will be hosting workshops on university campuses during the summer, targeting student athletes and educating them on Web3, blockchain, crypto, and also their rights as it pertains to these protests and the student visas that are getting revoked. Student athletes are there on campus all year long. Other students have to move out of the dorms.
Oh, wow.
Student athletes are the influencers. I view them as the influencers of the other students that come back to school in September and August. And so we're taking the time to educate them, especially now that colleges are paying student athletes. Now student athletes have NIL deals. They're not aware of how to best spend their dollar other than buying things, right? Just goods, shoes, clothes, name brands, giving it to their families. So this is a way that we're providing innovative financial literacy to them today. And it'll help them because they're getting these checks now. And also make sure that we're protecting them and help keeping them safe as possible during these times in LA. So what are your rights when it comes to protesting? What are your rights in terms of when it comes to getting your visa revoked and et cetera? So this is kind of our way of like, all right, these are the influencers, they have the tools. And now when everyone else gets back to school, then they can disseminate information as well. So I'm excited for that.
Wow, I feel like Carrie leaves no stone unturned because she's hitting it from all the angles. And I would have never thought about, approaching athletes, student athletes, but that makes so sense. I have a background with working with athletes. I did surgery and rehabilitation in sports medicine before Web3. So I know all about these students who are now getting paid at the college level. And so, yeah, I think that is so important because you're absolutely right in that they tend to spend it, on many materialistic things, to look cool on campus.
Right.
But it's so important at this age to also think about long-term, right? Long-term investment and setting yourself up and your family right for the rest of your life. So amazing, amazing work. I love it all. I'd really love to hear how the conference went for you. Were you out there, with important meetings, or were you really there to absorb what was happening? Like, I'd love to know how your experience was.
It was an amazing experience. It was my first time, by the way. So just side note, my first time at the Bitcoin conference. However, from years of Web3 conferences in general, my take was we definitely have the world watching. We definitely have the world listening. And there was a quote someone said on Twitter. It was like, the suits are here. Right? Never before have we had so many suits, so many politicians. And it's great to see that there's an interest in it, which also means it's our time to take action and say, hey, here are the things that we need in this space. Give them the knowledge to be empowered with so that they are not influenced by influencers, if that makes sense. Rather actual knowledge from builders and people who have been veterans in this space, if you will. In terms of spending my time out there, it was full of amazing serendipitous meetings, if that makes sense. Unplanned. Before going out to the Bitcoin conference, I read about New York Mayor Adams saying, okay, I am building a crypto committee. This is what I want to do. And I was reading about it and I had no intentions of coming to the Bitcoin conference. And I was like, I need to talk to him about this committee. And so 2 days later, someone said, you should just come to the Bitcoin conference. I don't know if I was talking to Mason or somebody. And so I ended up coming out. And then Pierce Brock, he has DNA Fund and he hosts a lot of things. And he's like, Adams is going to be here. And I was like, this is serendipitous because I just said I need to talk to him about his committee.
Right.
And so DNA House is always a place that I know I can work at during conferences. So DNA Fund is a fund. They always host a house, quote unquote, if you will, during Web3 events. And so it's always been a hub for me where I could have a safe place to get on my laptop, work, do meetings, leave, come back. It's just safe, right? Like in terms of comfortable, there's Wi-Fi.
Yeah,
And there are people that
you never know. You never know if you're going to get the Wi-Fi or not.
yes. And I had a couple of soft intros to the mayor before, but not like a one-on-one. And so I ended up meeting, his former intern there at the DNA House. And the next thing you know, we're having lunch the very next day. And the mayor was like, here, all right, I need to do this. And we're talking about Stand with Crypto. We're talking about how many voters we represent. We're talking about New York. And he was so excited to learn that one, we exist. Two, that we have so many people that are out in New York that want his support. And really, that means a lot. So maybe he may be there on the 18th. We don't know. But for that big rally in New York on the 18th, the block party.
That's incredible. I feel like Keegan probably could speak on this because he has a brand called Ground Game Strong.
Okay.
So I don't know if Keegan, you want to unmute because I feel like Carrie just displayed her ground game is really strong.
Yeah, I mean, for those that are not familiar with it, Ground Game Strong represents showing up, being present, making an impact. And I think, like Carrie, yeah, you just gave like a pretty good representation of that. One thing led to another, and you're not afraid to like just go on the offense and just be talking and setting up lunches and setting up meetings and just moving the conversation in the right direction. And you're doing it. You're practicing what you're preaching, and I think it's amazing to see like the right constituents coming together. And you're talking about individuals that are like very like influential in their city, like very like powerful people. And I didn't get a chance to see his talk. He was on stage giving the presentation during Bitcoin Vegas. I only saw the tail end as we were kind of walking out. We were pretty exhausted, I think, from the morning, but I did see him there, and I was like, oh, he's getting in this now. I was like, all right, he's trying to like get some footprints in here. And the fact that you're right there rubbing shoulders with them, kind of setting things up in the right way, like it's going to be a really great thing. And I know that you've been continually doing stuff like that. And so yeah, this is your MO. This is your field right here. So congrats, and I hope everything works out the way that it's supposed to.
If it works out, it just means we made life a little bit better and a little bit easier for other people in the world.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I know, yes, Carrie's definitely out there. She is not afraid to get out there and set up the meetings that need to happen, because with action leads to impact, and so it sounds like you are definitely moving the mountains. And I definitely want to touch on this event you're having. I'm going to put up on the screen.
Oh, yeah.
Crypto on the Coast Summer Soiree. So tell us, what is this event that you're having coming up on the 12th?
So I wanted to honor the summer because it's such amazing and beautiful weather, and on the coast. Cali is the coast. Palm trees, sand, and beautiful people. But it only made sense because it is also the place where it is the first Bitcoin office for the city of Santa Monica was established by the current mayor, Lana. And she was also at the Bitcoin conference. And crazy enough, we had never met before. Wow. I just realized her history. And then I reached out to her and said, hey, I think it'd be amazing to host a soiree, to make it fun and light, but also honoring the impact of creating this first office. Like, that's a historical milestone, right? And her as a woman to have the courage to say, I want to do something that's never been done before, and do execute it, right? And her ended up being in, the Bitcoin conference and speaking there. I was like, I didn't even know she was speaking there, and we had already scheduled this event. So it's crazy. And then when we realized we were both in Vegas, we were like, we need to just see each other, like at least, in person,
Yeah.
before this event. And so we're going to have a light-hearted, short conversation about why she even thought, how she even thought about creating this office, what the impact has been for her constituents, and what did she take away from the Bitcoin conference. And then just kind of enjoy some community time. It's being hosted at the longest standing restaurant on the pier, which is called the Albright. And yeah, it's super cute. It was established in 1977, and that family still owns it. And it just so happens to be my friends that I went to high school with.
Oh, wow.
Oh my gosh, that's
Okay.
so
Yeah.
funny.
It is amazing. And so we will be right here.
Nice.
That is awesome. Okay, well, guess what? I have RSVP'd.
Are you
I will
coming?
be there.
You're gonna be there?
I will be there. Yes. I guess I'm based in San Diego, but I'm actually, fun fact, born and raised in Santa Monica, California. So
What?
that is my hood.
What
And-
school did you go to?
Well, I went to school in the Valley because my family
Okay.
wanted me to be with my cousins, but I've
Okay.
lived all over Santa Monica. I did eventually go to SMC for a little bit, and then I transferred, right? But yeah,
Okay.
no, I love Santa Monica. That's my hood, and I worked there. I worked at Crossroads for a really long time as a swim instructor and swim teacher and lifeguard. So that's my hood.
Okay. There she goes. Well, it'll be so great to have you there.
Yeah, I will be there. And I was talking to Rachel Rose. I know she's gonna go. So we missed each other. We've been trying to connect because I know she didn't go to the Bitcoin conference because it was just her birthday. So I think she missed out on the conference. So we've been trying to connect, but we're like, hey, if you're going to Carrie's event, let's just hang out there. So yeah.
Aw, that'll be amazing. Keegan, are you coming too?
You know what? I think I have to at this point. I mean, I'm on Christmas. I'm on summer break. Being in the school system, I get summers off. So yeah, I'll make the trip up there.
Oh, it's a party.
Yes. So yeah.
You know who's also coming? Danger.
Oh, Danger. Oh, I haven't seen him in a bit. Yeah, he's part of the V fam. Shout out to the V friend community up in LA. I know they got a community out there. Cool.
Well, Danger lives, I think, like in Oceanside or something. Like he's not in LA.
I thought he was.
No, he has to drive like an hour and a half or 2 hours or something too.
I think it was Manhattan or something. It's somewhere down, right?
He's not in Manhattan because then he would be right near us. He's further.
Oh, okay.
Wow. This whole time, because I know he does a lot of VFriend related events, specifically in LA. I guess that makes sense because LA is a hub.
Yeah.
But I just assumed, he's from there, or at least lives there. Wow.
No, I think he did many years ago.
Okay.
Like before VFriends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That would make sense.
But I'm excited. Then we'll have like a whole little VFriend get together too.
There you go.
Yeah, a little reunion. Yeah, it's been a while since I've gathered with the free friends. Since VCon. Gary doesn't have his VCon. Well, he might have one. We don't know when, but yeah.
Right.
So I miss the fam. But yeah, it was great to have you on. Is there anything else you want to share with our viewers?
I think two main things. One, even though, we finished Bitcoin conference and we have some movement in terms of legislation, stay active, stay posting about your engagement with community members in crypto. People in the government want to see us continually active, knowing what it is that you're building, blockchain for good, if you will. I like to say that. And then also in terms of the state of the United States, where all of us are standing and ahead of these protests that are about to happen this weekend. Please stay safe. Please record and document and make sure your loved ones know where you are if you are participating in any of these protests. And yeah, that's it. I just, I want to pray everybody is safe and everybody is taking care of their family and their spirits.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're right there with you, Carrie. Me being Hispanic myself, and of course, originally from LA. So, yeah, definitely wishing everyone safe and make sure you protect your rights. That's so important. Carrie, where can they reach out to you if they want to get connected?
At MS_NFTY at Miss Nifty.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Carrie. I hope you have a happy Tuesday. Make sure you eat a taco and pet a toad. That's what we say on our show. But yeah, you're welcome to hang out backstage, but we're going to continue on with the show. But I appreciate you making an appearance today and sharing some insight with us.
Thank you so much for your time, and I will see you guys Thursday. Yay.
All right. Thanks. Good to see you.
Bye.
Yay, that was awesome. Yay. What did you think, Keegan? How was that?
She's a force. I mean, she comes prepared. She has her shoes on, her running shoes on every time I've seen her. Like, she's ready to go. Like, it doesn't matter if it's in Vegas or here in San Diego or in LA or San Fran. Like, she's definitely on the offense. So, I got to give credit where credit's due. You can't deny someone's energy and ambition, and Carrie's doing it. So I'm glad that, she's a champion for the space and Stand with Crypto. And you know what? I think the right people are helping lead the charge.
Yeah, definitely. Like, it's interesting because I've known Carrie for at least maybe 3 going on 4 years since like the OGV Friends Day. And like I knew her through like the ladies of BAYC, and that was pretty much it. Her and I didn't really have a working relationship or anything, but now that like we've kind of grown through this journey, and I'm doing things with Stand with Crypto, and then she became the president. Like, I've gotten to know Carrie now a little bit more, and she came down here doing the scavenger hunt here in San Diego, and just seeing how she truly operates and the people she brings together, like, that's undeniable, and so I'm just so glad I'm getting to know her better and getting to work with her more closely. So yeah, we really appreciate that for her coming on the show and giving some insight. But I think we should move on. So this was like day 1, guys. So that was Carrie, who we also interviewed. On day 1, we also interviewed Maximilian, who's a fantastic artist and developer. She vibe codes. I mean, she's very multi-talented. And then we also interviewed Mike, who is the chapter president for Nevada in Vegas. So that was really cool to get to chat with him and share how proud he is that the conference is in his city. And so that's so cool. I definitely want to say hello to Aoli. Thank you so much. He posted up our YouTube channel. I appreciate that. Definitely, again, reminders, go to There's Layers to This on YouTube and click subscribe. Subscribers will be entered into the giveaway to win $25 in Bitcoin. And go do that. And then also want to shout out Valerie Michaels, not me. She has the same name, Valerie. This is Valerie Michaels. So great. She's tuning in. She's saying the lasagna looks good. I know I got the lasagna behind me. And for those who don't know why I have a lasagna behind me is because of our show, our little mascot, Lorenzo, his trait, he has a trait based off of Garfield, the cartoon. So if anyone's watched the Garfield the cat, his favorite food is lasagna. Lasagna has layers, and guess what else has layers? Blockchain has layers. We as humans have layers, so it just makes sense. So if you were confused about why I have lasagna, that's why. And of course, she says, there's layers to that. So absolutely, thank you so much for tuning in and supporting. I would love to know who else is watching the show, so please leave your comments and I'll post them up and say hi.
And just to give some context, so Valerie is an OG friend that we've known for a while in this space, and we're getting to know more and more. And so she has a lot of, I think, in my opinion, she has some special things that she's working on with a really amazing team. And I think we're gonna save that for another time. And I definitely want to dive more deep into that because when you get to know people, like there's different layers, whatever you want to call it. Like when you get to know people, like at the surface level, face value, and like you learn more depth, like you get to see how things are connected with context and with details, and then you can really see like a team's vision or a team's project or what their beliefs and perspectives are. And so she's definitely working with a really cool team that I am pretty amazingly, I'm just surprised to see that we still have really good people that really want to move this space in the right direction, because for so many years, like it was just the same old thing. And, to see something special brewing and something unique, like that's right up my alley. Like I think 10KTF was that and is that. I do think they have other stuff too still on the table. And so, she's with a really amazing team that I think is doing something special as well. And so we'll have to talk more about that when the time comes. But for right now, I know we're doing this recap. We're still covering Vegas, Bitcoin Vegas. Now we got, Stand with Crypto on Thursday with Miss Nifty. Like it's just, there's a lot of stuff coming together. And on top of the legislation, on top of the stable coins, on top of the Genius Act, like people need this, and people want to have relevant things that are real and not just fictitious vaporware meme coins day in and day out. Now, mind you, I know that's a part of the space, which is the variable. Like we have that. Trading's part of it. But I think when you get to see the builders that bring tools, that bring something special with like really fun things tied to it, that's what people will gravitate towards. And I think having the right people that are the face, that are the leaders, that are right there with the people, I think that matters at most. And so, yeah, I'm here for all of it. So happy to just kind of support you and everything with There's Layers to This. And, you've done an amazing job. Creatures have done an amazing job. And you guys you're on the right path.
Thank you. No, yeah, I think it's so important, especially in this space. There's a lot of distractions, a lot of stimulations all around us, from meme coins to scams to bad actors to influencers going rogue on live streams and insider trading. There is a lot. And it can get really easy to be like, damn, like who are the good people? Who are actually the builders? Where are they, right? A lot of the times, obviously it's the developers who are, reiterating, the blockchain and making it better for everybody. But they're usually spending their time behind computers. Not many of them like to be social or can be social, right? So sometimes finding those creators and creatives, who mean well, right? Like sometimes it's hard, but sometimes you find that one where you just have doubt, and then, you meet the good people. You attract them, right? As long as you're doing good, you attract the good people. And Valerie's definitely one that you and I have had the pleasure to meet recently in person, and she's working with an amazing project. And so, yeah, we'll share more about that later when we can. But I also want to give a shout out to my aunt, Olivia. She says, hi, Valerie and Keegan. Good info and great show. Thank you. Thank you for coming and tuning in. This is one of the reasons why I love doing the show too, because I think of people like literally my aunt and my family who, barely have their toes in crypto. She got a little bit of Bitcoin. My sister has a couple of NFTs. She's come to a few events and conferences with me, but she's still kind of like, what is this all about, right? And so, I hope you guys definitely go and subscribe and go share this with your family, right? We try to make this really easy, really friendly for everyone to digest this information and what's coming out. So yeah, let's get back to the recap. I think now's a good time. I mean, the show's almost over. It's kind of crazy how fast time flies. But let's definitely go into one of my highlights that was very unexpected. I got to meet a billionaire in person, and that is Michael Saylor. So let's watch this together. And I had one job, and I had two things I wanted to do. So let's watch this video to see if I made it happen.
Hi everyone, it's Valerie, aka V Dizzle of There's Layers to This. Right now we are at the Bitcoin conference here in Las Vegas, Nevada. The conference just ended with a fantastic speech by Ross Ulbricht, and earlier before that we had Michael Saylor of MicroStrategy. Right now he's actually live on CNBC, and we're seeing some of the behind the scenes, and we're gonna try our best after he's done with his interview to maybe ask him a question and talk to him. If I don't get the opportunity to ask him a question, then I'm gonna see if I can give him this magnet for his fridge, a Lorenzo and Stand With Crypto magnet. So we're gonna go around the back. It's gonna be kind of crowded. You're gonna see a lot of people, lights and cameras, but we're gonna see if we can catch him as he exits his interview. So let's go. Love to have you this. What should skeptics understand about crypto?
Bitcoin is hope. That's what they should understand. Solution to their problems.
Well, you heard it from Michael Saylor himself. If you're a skeptic about crypto, understand that Bitcoin is hope. Thank you. This has been a recorded session here at Bitcoin Las Vegas 2025. Bye.
That's 200,000 followers.
Oh, get him on camera. He's camera ready.
He's good now.
All right. Well, there you have it. I was able to accomplish both those things. I handed a Lorenzo and Stand With Crypto magnet to Michael Saylor himself. I hope he put that magnet on his fridge in his $1 or $1 million home. And yeah, I got to ask him my interview question when I know there were some people out there trying to get interviews with him and they couldn't. So I felt really honored that kind of happened organically, and I was just at the right place at the right time and got to ask him my one question. And so, yeah, Keegan and I were able to get in there, and I don't know. I know, Keegan, you were kind of behind the scenes with the camera. Like, how are you experiencing it? You know, just seeing him there, and, you know, Mackenzie was there from CNBC. Like, any thoughts on that?
Yeah, so I think what's good for context for people to know and understand is that, like, we weren't just waiting around there the whole time. Like, prior to that, like, we were watching the last two keynote speaking sessions by Russ Ulbricht and then also by Michael Saylor right before that. So really, we were up front behind the main bar, like really right near the stage. So we were up there for like probably a solid hour. And you could only be up there if you were going to be like on your knees or sitting on the cement, like all the press, because we were there as press. And so we were there with the press pass. And so we were up in the front, actually in front of the front row. We were right behind the bar where you could film. And so we did that. And then we were kind of getting ready to go, actually. We were ready to go. And then we caught them as we saw. Yeah, see, there's the video right behind the bar. And so then as we were leaving, I was like, oh, there's Michael Saylor right there. He's doing a live interview with the news channel. And so there was people around trying to get autographs and trying to get pictures. And it wasn't until he was done that he took some time. And mind you, he didn't have to do that, but he did sign some autographs and took some pictures. He was kissing the hand of this old lady was like kissing his hand or something like that.
She even kissed him on his cheek too, I think. This old lady. He let her. Even his bodyguards, they let her.
So he was definitely like, he has a presence, and I had never seen him speak before. I mean, a number of us have seen his content online, I'm sure. Maybe some people don't like him. Maybe he's a little too much. I never had a problem with him, but getting to see him talk and spread the message in person was very powerful. And then getting to see afterwards him doing the post interview and then taking some time to meet and greet with some of the people. Mind you, he wasn't doing interviews with everybody like that. Like, he wasn't taking the time to answer your question, and I just want to give you some props for getting that done and doing that, because that's more than just doing like a quick live stream, walking by, making short form content. It's obviously not a full blown production like some of the studios and like they have with CBS or NBC, whatever it was. But you were there, like I was there too. I was filming. I was behind the camera, which is not usually where I usually like to be in front of the camera. But in this case, I was supporting from behind the camera, which is fine because that's what it means to be a team player. And so I was happy that you were able to actually do that. We were actually able to accomplish that in those moments after waking up early, going through crowds, sitting on the cement for over an hour, live streaming, and then pushing a little more energy to get through to that last part, and you kind of focusing on what you wanted to say, and I was trying to just get the camera ready. And so, yeah, it worked out really well. And, it was a nice little thing and a nice gesture, and I think that's something that means a lot. Not only for you and for me, but he'll probably remember that too. Like, he didn't have to take that. He didn't have to take the magnet, So I think that like it's going to stand out on his end as well, because not everybody was giving him gifts. Not everybody was like doing something like that. I've seen that before with like Gary Vee, where they give him a bunch of stuff like take this, take that, or sign this. But I didn't see too much of that with him. Now, mind you, he's a different character. But you can't deny like the voice that he's become for the Bitcoin community. And you can't deny like what he's continuing to do, which is push the narrative of Bitcoin is a force to be reckoned with. It's a presence. It's not going away. And he's going to continue to push that forward. So again, just to be there on that part where it was us two trying to just be a part of that was something special. And even the guy with that guy with the dog actually wanted us to go and interview the dog first. He tried to like, she's like, oh, come and interview the dog. He has 200,000 followers.
How can I interview a dog? Does he speak?
So all right. Like, I mean, that's cool. Dog. Like, yeah, you built a following on social media. Great. But like, we're talking about two different calibers here. Like, we're talking about an individual who's investing and continuing to push the narrative of Bitcoin and giving speeches to like thousands of people in the audience versus the dog when you built up a social platform, which is great. No, kudos to you. But as soon as he said that, and I was like, oh, hey, he's getting up. And then we just both like moved over there real quick. We're like, all right, we'll come back to this after. And we did. Yeah. I mean, we circled past him. You got him on footage. So, but just
and
overall.
I don't think that guy was actually really waiting for Michael until he saw us go. Because then I saw him come behind us and was like looking like, huh? So like,
yeah,
he was trying to get people to see the dog, which of course I stopped and we got footage of it. He's so cute. And, there's different ways to advocate for the coin, right? Put a t-shirt, on a dog, give him some orange glasses and build a social media for him, great. But it was so great to just have it happen organically. Mm-hmm. And I had just a few minutes to prepare, right? Like, okay, what am I going to do? What am I going to say? Like, cause I know me, like sometimes I get nervous, right? You get like, what is it called? Celebrity. When you get nervous in front of a starstruck. Yeah. Because I was like, oh my God, this is the guy I see on my timeline almost every day. Right. He's a billionaire. He's worth than my whole life is worth more than I am. So I'm just like, and every day I see from like Watch Guru, like I think even today I saw from Watch Guru, Michael Saylor of MicroStrategy bought, $105,000, more of Bitcoin, I'm like, Jesus, right? So it's a little nerve wracking. Like, okay, you gotta like mentally prepare and just like, all right, what am I going to ask? So I was like, okay, I know I'm not going to be able to have like a long conversation. There's other people that are there. There's cameras, there's lights from CNBC. And so I was like, you know what? At the very least, let me just give him like a sticker. So I actually gave him one of these, the Stand with Crypto sticker. And then I gave him a magnet. And so he actually accidentally dropped this. And then He still had the magnet though. So I know he has that at least and has the Stand with Crypto on there. But yeah, that was kind of one of my highlights, to be honest, because that was not planned for.
Right.
And it happened like how I thought it would happen being there. I was like, okay, we have just a few minutes. We got to catch him when he like leaves his interview. And actually he is like the sweetest person. And I was kind of like, I didn't know how he was going to be, like being
Right.
from LA and dealing with people who either pretend to have money or sometimes they do have money. Sometimes they can act a bit pretentious or like, you know, be a little bit stuck up. And, you know, like I thought maybe he would have that attitude. But to be honest, he was actually kind of like a really quiet, humble kind of guy,
Yeah.
giving everybody his attention. Like he made sure to shake hands with everybody. Anybody who had a Sharpie and their badge, he was signing. You even got your badge signed, right?
I got my badge signed and I got a picture. And you're right. He was a little, his persona in person was a little different than how, like, he comes off a little aggressive in some of his content and kind of like, oh, I know more and I know this and I know that. But like when he took the time to meet the people, like he was there going around for a while, like saying hi to a lot of people, taking pictures.
Yeah.
And I do think though he was being a little like mindful of like what he does say and how he says it, because I don't think he wants any of his words twisted. And so I think it was great that you were very like specific with like the question, and he could have ignored it, but he didn't. He responded and took the time, and you know, and a lot of those things had to work out, right? Like the timing, the recording, the sound, like getting in between, like, and actually someone I think like pushed in front of you the first time from the side to get a picture.
Multiple people pushed inside in front of me, and I was like, no, I'm gonna get in there, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, so it definitely, a lot of things had to go right just to get that kind of small sequence of events.
Yeah. And you just trying to get the camera in there between the people, like, you know, and have it focused. Like, it was a lot on both of our parts. But quick tip for anyone who's looking to start doing their content. And I definitely recommend, like, if you got a camera, like I know Keegan and I, we're upgrading our equipment, but it's still good. Like, if you still have just your phone and your camera, like, we need more people to show what it's like in person. The masses don't get it yet. And like Mason said in our interview before, like, we need to humanize crypto. We're all real humans with real thoughts and ideas and feelings, you know? And so here's a quick tip. I knew what question to ask him, not because I thought about it. I was under the gun. There was a lot of pressure and nerves.
Yeah.
I used ChatGPT.
Oh, yeah, you did say that, yeah.
I used ChatGPT, and I was like, I'm at the Bitcoin conference. Michael Saylor's here. I have one shot and one chance to ask him something for an interview. What should I ask? And then ChatGPT gave me this whole long like paragraph, like, oh, ask him about the strategies of blah, 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 blah. And I was like, no, this has to be quick. And then it was like, okay, like, what is, and it gave me that one liner, like what is one thing skeptics should understand about crypto? And I was like, boom, perfect. And I felt more confident and more ready to just like jump in there, right? And I rehearsed it a couple of times in my head and a little bit on camera before we went to go see him. But that was like the short little prep that I was able to get in that amount of time. So that is a tip for you, man. If ChatGPT is not down, because I know ChatGPT was down today, and I was suffering because sometimes you get too used to it, right? But no, yeah, ChatGPT, my assistant, my virtual assistant, came through every time. But wanna say hi again to Olivia. She says, I've learned a lot with your help. Smiley face. So yeah. That's what we're here for. We are closing up. We're coming here. We've already gone a little over our hour, and we haven't even covered what day 2 was like, what any of the parties. But real quick, one of my favorite parties was the Wizards. The Taproot Wizards. We got this cool little hat. I don't know if you guys can see. This is the witch hat, wizard hat. And then we got this really cool disco kind of like silver glitter cape everybody is wearing. So you can go see that in our recap video. So that was one of my favorite parties. It was definitely like a disco 70s feel. I don't know, what was your highlight as far as like after events?
Yeah, I mean, I think that was like, you know, probably one of the more unique ones. Like the fact that they gave everybody that showed up, and again, this was a Taproot Wizards party, and so they gave us a hologram cape and a hologram hat. There you go. And it was cool because everybody was wearing them. Full disclosure, I'm not a holder, but was able to go and participate, so that was nice. They had some free drinks and we were only there for like the last hour and a half because it got later and we had done a lot that day. But
Yeah.
it was a good crowd. People were in good spirits. This was like it was at like a club in the Link, I think is where it was. This is in Vegas. And so again, I haven't been to Vegas for a while, so I'm not familiar with all the locations and stuff. And so I was like just taking everything in as it was. And so, yeah, we went there and then, you know, we checked in. They had a good environment. They had a good setting. You felt the theme. You saw some black lights. Everybody was wearing their, you know, hats and their capes. And then there was a whole separate room that had like a really cool environment in terms of like the setting, like the sights and the sound and the music. There was the DJ who had like a purple hat and cape on. And so, but there were screens all around on the walls, on the floor, I think on the roof too, actually, I believe. I could be wrong on the roof, but definitely all the walls and the floor. And it was just like digital projection of like just videos. Like, if you zoom up, if you scroll to it, you'll see the picture. And I probably should have posted more stuff on it. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so it was lights up above. So it was wrong on the roof, but there was
There's lights on the roof.
Yeah, there's
on
lights
the ceiling,
but there was no screen on the roof, is what I mean. So,
screen, yeah, no.
But it felt like everybody was on like this like a little quest, a little mission. Like when we walked in, like in this recap video, if you guys rewatch it, you'll see we walk up this little ramp, and it almost felt like, oh, we're going on this adventure because we're all wearing like our like outfits, like on a quest. And then all of a sudden, boom, there's this whole other room, and then you know all these people were dancing. The vibes were great. The vibes were good at this event. Creatress was here as well. She's in the video. So all three of us were able to go to this and really get to experience kind of like what they're about and how they carry themselves. And it was a real fun event for the time we were there, for sure.
No, yeah, it was one of my favorites. So fun. And I was actually really surprised, like you put it on. I didn't know how excited you were to like wear the costume. I was thinking like, King is not gonna like go for this. But you did, and you were repping it, and we were getting compliments on the Las Vegas Strip because after this party, we walked across the strip to go meet our 10KTF friend Hideaki, shopkeeper Hideaki at Omnia. So on that way, we got some compliments.
Yeah, and I think that was I think this was really smart and well done because not only do you give something where your community and people that came to this event have like a special like physical item, but then it just created this dynamic where it's like word of mouth marketing. Like there was probably, I mean, I don't know if there was a few hundred, but there was definitely people wearing these in the casino, walking the strip, going to other places. So then it just prompts the question. Like it prompts the question, oh, what is that? Like, what does that mean? What is this about? And I probably answered it like half a dozen times at least. And like, you know, this is a community art project. It's on Bitcoin, like it's ordinal, like, so it was cool. I mean, I've always thought that was like a great idea of like marketing. I always thought like, if you go to like, if you're promoting a brand, you like get all the same people wearing the same things. You know, whether that's hired people or not hired people, but the fact that this was organic by the community and they're willing to participate in that way, it just goes to show like, okay, we want to keep wearing this and wear it afterwards. And then people see it with the optics wise, top notch. And so it was a really great event and the people were nice. And, you know, got to see some of the Ordinals community there. And just have a good time.
Well, speaking of the ordinals community, we both got to meet Casey Rodemar.
Yep.
So I'm really curious. Like, so we saw him. We went to the Bitcoin Pizza Ninjas party. That was what, the second day?
That was, yeah. I mean, the thing is that I was tired for a lot of the trip going into it, so I was pretty fatigued.
You were kind of under the weather.
I was under the weather for at least 3/4 of it, so I was not feeling so hot. And thank goodness I wasn't doing too much talking or in front of the camera. I was behind the camera, but yeah, I think that was day 2, and then we got to see a good amount of people that were at that event, including Casey and Aaron. They run a podcast, Hell's Money's podcast, and for those that don't know, Casey was the individual who created the protocol for ordinals as well as runes. So he's kind of a big deal, and he's kind of funny. He's kind of funny. Like, I was pretty impressed. I wanted to meet him and Aaron for a while. So and actually we took a picture at the Taproot Wizards event, and I actually had Aaron take the picture of us.
Oh, really? That's hilarious.
Yeah, I feel bad. I wish I could have I should have gotten a picture with her. I was kind of like,
yeah, hello.
I know, it's whatever. But she was in conversation too, so I was like, I think we were trying to like leave because they were closing already too. So it was all very fast, very like organic as things were playing out, and so it was what it was.
It was what it was. It's all good. You can only do what you can. And that was really cool for Casey. I actually wanted to get an interview with him, but he had already done interviews in the day, and he was just trying to enjoy his time. And he's like, yeah, I'm not going on camera anymore. I'm like, okay, no worries. Respected him, and so, but he was really nice. That was my first time finally meeting him. And then I shared with him how, I joined the ORD Discord, and I went through like setting up my Bitcoin node and try to etch a rune. Like, I told him my whole journey. He's like, no way, that's cool. And I was like, yeah, but my energy bill went up and I had to figure what went wrong. So yeah, but it was really cool. He was really down to earth as well. And one of the other cool things too, by the way, is that we made custom merch. So this was a cute little dress that me and Creatress were wearing, and that we gave out some. This is like a cute little like dress. Like, look at that, guys. And so this is some of our exclusive limited edition merch. This is one more, and this is already claimed. And then we also made polo shirts. A little bit more masculine, but for most of the guys. And then Keegan was wearing one of these, right? So
I was.
Yeah,
we were all wearing. We were branded, and we all were matching. So I think we got a good picture somewhere in there. You and Creatress had the dress on, and I had the polo shirt on.
Oh, we have a team photo somewhere, huh?
And I think, optics wise, I think it was on point. I think there was a lot of optics things that really were on point on top of that. But yeah, I mean, to go back to your point, the merch was really cool.
Yeah, I feel like we definitely showed up. I mean, even on the first day, I remember we went to the press lounge, and we were like the only ones like doing a live stream. Like, everybody was looking at us like, what is the setup? Because in the press lounge, they have like these little booths with these high top tables that you can just kind of like put together and just, I guess, like do an interview there. But we decided to use this nice backdrop that they had for that was branded Bitcoin Conference 2025. So we're like, yeah, let's just use this and do the interviews right in the open. And then we had like a flood of people interested. We had a lot of PR managers approach us and be like, hey, I have this and this client, would love for you to interview them. And, ooh, you got your hat. Yours is showing up. Mine isn't really showing up.
It doesn't really work that good for. I don't know, because it's too hologramish.
Yours is looking good. Like, yours is looking good.
I don't know.
We can see it.
Yeah.
We can see it.
Yeah, that's okay.
No, keep it on. Keep it on.
I just have it right here. It does, I don't know. I think it's because
I feel like this is so Casey Rodemar and Aaron. Like, they wear funny costumes on their Hell Money podcast.
Yeah.
So Anyways, but yeah, it was just good overall, and we could go on and on about it. But also we did get to speak with Kyle and Aaron from Internet Computer Protocol, ICP Hubs. They lead the hub here in the US. I am an ambassador for them. That was announced a couple of weeks ago. And so they got some content, with us from the three of us. So I'm excited to see what that looks like. But yeah, I think now it's time for the Wheel of Names to drop the winners here live to find out who is the winner of $25 worth of Bitcoin. We have not one winner, but two winners.
Dang.
And if you're just tuning in, the way you can enter is go to YouTube and search There's Layers to This. Click on our channel and go subscribe. I'll give you a minute here or two because I got to look up all the names. So there is some time here, but go do that. Okay?
Or I'm doing that.
Free money.
Wait, am I eligible? I'm ineligible, I feel like, on this one.
You're eligible. I don't see why not. You're eligible. Why not?
I mean, I'm already subscribed, so I'm already in.
Yeah. So while I go find the names here and put them on the Wheel of Names, why don't you share more about your experience or anything that stood out to you at this conference? And also, we have tickets. Did you sign up for your ticket for next year?
Yeah, but I think I sent it to you because I was under the press for Red Rug Entertainment.
Oh, that's right. That's right. So we already have our tickets for Bitcoin 2026 in April. And guess what? It's going to be at Vegas again. So, go sign up. But yeah, why don't you talk for a little bit and I'll pull up some of the subscribers here.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, as far as like what else I really liked or enjoyed about the conference was that, again, I felt like this was a different conference. I mean, I shared already going from like NFT art conferences to like, this is a Bitcoin conference. Separate from that fact, this was more of a working trip. And so that made it different. But the one thing that I really did like and enjoy was that I did get a chance and opportunity to learn. I was able to learn and feel inspired and feel motivated. Because sometimes, we are in our like avenues, whether that's on X or on Discord or whatever feeds we're on. And it's very limited with what we can actually see and take in because our algorithm is already skewed one way. And so sometimes people don't like to venture out and like explore other ecosystems or other kind of like happenings. And so I do feel fortunate that I was able to take time and get to learn about everything that like ICP is doing with Kyle and with Aaron. Like they have amazing stuff that they're doing, and they're actually going to be my guests on my show later tonight, 10KTF Teaching Tuesdays. And so there's some really cool stuff happening over there. Like, and you wouldn't know unless you took the time. I'm willing to bet like half the audience right now does not even know about some of the stuff that ICP is doing. And so I'm in that camp with multiple different chains and ecosystems, right? You can't be everywhere all the time on top of every movement and happenings, but that's why it's important to, in my opinion, have individuals that are more front facing to share important details, to share and create awareness to things that are happening. And whether or not you choose to take that other step to actually put your toes into the ecosystem and start exploring, that's where that's the first touch point, right? But if there's no opportunities to learn or be a part of it, then really you're just banking on, okay, I hope they see this X post, or I hope they jump into this Discord, or I hope they see this flyer. Like for me, I think being in person and being in real life, I think that's where you can gain the most knowledge. And I think that being able to talk and connect with people is super important. And that's why I feel like, for me, having a strong ground game of showing up, being present, and making an impact, this is an example of that. And I was able to hear the messages that like Michael Saylor said. I hadn't seen him speak before, but to see him speak on stage was very impactful. It just reiterated the importance of, I need to spend more time learning. I need to learn about how to do these type of things that he's talking about, whether that's borrowing and lending and creating this avenue to like for wealth and in this way, and how all these things are going to start to play out a lot more as the legislation is starting to come into fruition. And so for me, I was in more of a gathering information phase. I'm in more of like, okay, I'm doing recon. I'm piecing things together. I'm connecting some of my dots. What is this speaker saying? What am I seeing firsthand? What is Stand With Crypto doing? And I'm really taking everything from the timeline. So I'm taking all these things in and I'm forming my opinion and what I'm seeing happen before fully goes into happening. And so for me, I'm trying to prepare myself with knowledge, because at the end of the day, the old saying, knowledge is power. It really is. If you have the knowledge and you have the understanding of what's happening and how it's happening, like, you can help create different avenues, not only to help advocate for the people around you, but you can also set yourself up to be ready for that, so that you can do things that you want to do, whether that's setting up a business, whether that's starting a brand, whether that's actually bringing others to form a team and work together. Like, there's just so many things that you can do. And so hearing the knowledge and the messaging, especially from the two keynotes, Michael Saylor and Russ Ulbricht, just hearing his journey and everything on top of it. Russ is like, you guys can Google and look it up. I'm not going to go into all of it, but he wasn't speaking from a prompter. He was just speaking from straight up, like, his heart and everything he had done and where he's at now. Like, to go through his journey, to be, have 2 life sentences, then to be released from prison last year, and then to now be on stage. He had a very powerful message. But I think people forget, like, it's like the time wasn't taken beforehand to actually learn and understand what this ecosystem and what this Web3 blockchain space is about, versus just acting and like slapping the law and like reprimanding someone without creating infrastructure, guardrails, safeguards, legislation, and rules. And so, I think that should have happened a long time ago. And so now to see again come full circle, where he was released and he was speaking on stage, and now at the same time, legislation is starting to happen, and stable coins are going to be one of the first things this year, in my opinion, where we see that into the masses, into communities, and it's going to be around. It's going to be normalized. There's no two ways about it. You can bookmark this thing, June 10th, Tuesday, 2025. Like, stable coins are going to be a foundational piece. And so being around that firsthand, around the people, around the companies that are helping guide that, it's a very special type of thing. Same like ETH Denver. You're around the builders that are building tools and actual platforms to help move the space in the right direction. And so again, like, the learning part was super powerful for me, and that's what I could do with the time that I had. And so being able to connect again with Kyle and Aaron and their whole team with what they're doing, learning some of the things that I heard from like ICP with Caffeine AI and all this stuff, and the canisters, and how they're going to like really create this dynamic where AWS may not be the only player in town anymore. Like, there's a lot of cool stuff, but unless you're listening and willing to listen and be open to learn, you're never going to know. You're going to see it after the fact, and you're going to be like, oh, well, I wish I would have taken the time to do this, or I wish I would have explored this. Like, and again, there's certain things that you gravitate towards too. But for me, like, I want to learn as much as I can with the time I have. And I have this time off during summer right now. I want to learn about all of it. Like, I do not discriminate against any of these blockchains. I want to learn about all of them. I want to learn about ICP. I want to learn about ApeChain. I want to learn about Abstract. I want to learn more about Ordinals. I want to learn about
Cardano.
I could keep going on and on, right? And that's not to say like Somnia. It's not to Somnia. Like, there's not to say like, I don't have I have knowledge on all those blockchains, to be honest with you, but I don't have the depth of knowledge of certain pieces of it. And that's where I want to start spending time this summer, is going deep to learn how they're connected, what they can do, and where that's going to take us. And so for me, I got to see some of that on the Bitcoin side. And for me, learning more about ICP and how they're going, in my opinion, they're going to be a cornerstone when it comes to Bitcoin. And if you haven't understood that, you need to start learning and piecing some stuff together, because at the end of the day, and Valerie, I think you can kind of like, support this, is that Bitcoin is going to be the first big player to, again, with stable coins, that's going to be the first big entity, or excuse me, cryptocurrency that is going to help drive this space forward. It's going to be the first one where you have big companies investing and sharing and saving and making moves and building things around it. it's not going to be the other, in my opinion, it's not going to be the other way. It's going to be Bitcoin first. And so to have ICP right there kind of connected with it, I think it's going to be really special to see how this plays out. And so again, I'm here for it. I could continue to go on like this, but I know you're trying to do the wheel of names for the giveaway. So I'm going to turn it over to you. So please take it away.
All right. Yeah. Let me refresh this recent subscribers just one more time. One thing I just discovered, and guys, this is my first time doing a giveaway through like YouTube subscribers. So one thing I realized, just notice, is that your name will only show up on my end, on the back end, on the dashboard, if you have your subscriptions public. So if your account on YouTube has your setting is on private, where you're not sharing like who you're subscribed to, that unfortunately means I don't know. We have 31 current subscribers.
Wow.
And which is awesome. You know, we're going slowly but surely here, you know, getting organic. We're not botting subscribers here. But yeah, I only have 31 who are subscribed, but I have 14 on my list. So what I'm gonna do for you guys now is, if you want to leave a comment, whether here on X or on YouTube, I'll check my abstract also, because we're streaming there. Just say something, say hello if you want to be entered into this giveaway. Okay. I'll give you just a minute to do that. It shouldn't take any longer to say hello if you want to be entered into this giveaway. So I'm checking my abstract right now. See if anyone is saying hello over there. Let's see. Okay, no comments on the chat.
Who do we got? So we got Natalie, Joshua, Binks, V-Dizzle, JP, Angie, Julissa, Bobby K, Life Size Box, CJ Fuentes, Olivia, Keegan, Valerie, and Ao.
So I was going to ask you, should I be on there? V-Dizzle7 is one of my other YouTube channels. And of course I subscribe to There's Layers to This.
I think you can take me off too. Like, I want the people to, like, you know,
win.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're part of the team. You're getting paid here. All right, so I'm going to remove my name. So that's increasing everybody else's chances. And Keegan's name. All right.
Angie. Is that Angie? Angie's Revenge? All of a sudden she shows up. Weird. Okay. All right. All right. She didn't show up for my spaces, but she's here for the live stream giveaway. All right. That's fine.
She subscribed. What can I tell you? She subscribed to the channel. Okay. All right. Anybody else? Speak now, forever hold your peace. This is the chance to win $25 in Bitcoin, and not just one person, but two people will win.
So they have to subscribe or DM you?
Not DM me, comment.
Oh.
I guess now I should check my DMs. Great. Thanks now, Keegan. Like,
should you show it on the live stream, the comment where they're supposed to leave?
What do you mean? They can say hi. You know, they comment on the live X. You know, like how Valerie commented. So there's layers to that. You know, Olivia commented on YouTube saying, I've learned a lot with your help. So just make a comment. So I know you're here.
I see. Not like a comment on X. It just in general a comment. Got it.
But no, because great. Now there's all these things I need to check, because now now I'm thinking, oh great, what if they did leave a comment like a legit?
I'm just asking for clarity.
Let's see. Oh wait, there's one comment. Okay, it's Bobby San. He says, love the vibes. He's already entered. He's not
getting a second entry.
I don't know. Let's see. That's the only comment I saw. Let me check the comments here. No, we already got the Aoli, we got Valerie and Olivia. Those are the only ones that are popping up for me. Let me check my DMs one more time.
Those vendors coming through.
No, I'm checking all my channels. Okay, let me check abstract one more time. Okay, no, but thank you for the tip. Thank you for the tips in Pengu. I see them. All right. I guess that's it. Okay, let's run this giveaway. Keegan, give me a drum roll.
Uh,
All right, here we go. $25 of Bitcoin. Who is our first winner? Hey! Olivia L, let's go. You've won $25 of Bitcoin. Guess what, guys? That's my aunt. She's getting onboarded to Bitcoin. That's what I'm talking about. All right, congrats. I know I got her into Bitcoin last April, right before the halvening, I think it is. Oh, she's in the comments. She says, "Wow, I won! Thank you."
That's nice.
Go play the lotto. You have luck on your side today.
There you go.
So you will be receiving $25. Don't worry. I will walk you through it. I'll get your address and I'll send you the Bitcoin. You don't have to pay anything. All the gas fees are covered from Stand With Crypto. So thank you to Stand With Crypto, who is allowing us to do this giveaway for you guys. So make sure you go check them out. Visit standwithcrypto.com and take the pledge. Sign up for an account. You can actually get an NFT too when you go sign up. But all you're doing is saying you stand with crypto, and it allows them to email you anytime there is a big policy that's coming up and they give you information. So go do that. But what do you think? Are we ready? Are we ready for our next winner? We only have one more. Should I go back and check comments again?
You could, just to be nice. I mean,
just to be nice. All right. If anybody wants to comment, leave
so
a comment.
How do they receive the money? Is it just they reach out to you afterwards, or how does that part work?
No. I'm reaching out to you. I don't know. I will reach out to you, and I'll get your wallet address, and I'm gonna send you the Bitcoin. Olivia L says my wallet is ready to accept the BTC. Look, she knows the acronym now too. BTC. Wow.
It's being normalized. It's being normalized.
All right, let me refresh. I'm gonna refresh my subscriber list here. Let's see. Any new subscribers? I think we're still just at 31. And again, the only way I can see your name on this list if you have your settings set to public. That's the only way. So nothing here. Let me check my Twitter. Oh, wait. Do I see Luna? Luna M?
Oh, yeah, she did comment. Yeah.
Luna M? Well, okay. Let's put Luna M. Luna M on the wheel. She got in. Luna M, fellow V-friend. Let's see. Anybody else? We got Luna. And anybody else? I don't know. I'm not seeing anybody else here. Don't get mad at me if I didn't see you, because I'm saying let me know. But I'm not seeing anybody else. Not on abstract. Okay. I think we're ready. I think we're calling it. I think we're ready to do our second winner. What do you think?
Yeah, I think there's a good amount of people on there. It's a good chance.
Okay. It's a good chance to win $25 of Bitcoin. All right. Imagine it when Bitcoin goes, what, to 200,000? And it will. You best believe it. Your $50 turn into a lot more than $50 in the next few years here. So, all right, let's run it. Give me a drum roll. Go. And our next winner is you guys saw this is not rigged. Guys, it's my freaking sister. Wow, dude, I promise you. You guys saw me. You guys saw it live.
Well, she's gonna have to set up a Bitcoin wallet if she doesn't have
She
one.
does not have any crypto, guys.
She
She
has
has
1 week.
NFTs. This will be her first time with crypto, and I'm so happy it's gonna be Bitcoin, bro. Like $25. Oh my God, Olivia, go tell Angelina she won $25. Wow, your guys' household, because my sister, she stays with my aunt. Your guys' household, I don't know, has the luck of the Irish in your house today. So go play the lotto. Go play the lotto. But congratulations to Angelina. And thank you for everyone else who has subscribed and who participated, commented, watched our live stream, watched our content. There is going to be a couple more content that's coming out from our side. We did speak to one of the locals. We got an interview with the Starbucks employee. So I'm excited to show you guys that video when it's ready. Let's see. Oh, Olivia says Angelina needs help setting up a wallet that accepts BTC. Don't worry, I will white glove service her. She's gonna be treated like VIP. I will handle it for both of you guys. Don't worry. But wow, free money just for tuning in. How much easier can it be? You didn't even have to be paying attention to the show. You just had a comment.
I mean,
I don't know. I saw we have 113 people tuned in, and you're telling me no one was commenting? I don't know, man.
Maybe they commented on the live. I feel like the live comments don't always appear in the same way, but I could be wrong.
Well, young Scrimmage is here. He says GM.
Oh, okay.
A little too late, Scrimmy. I don't know if you saw, but we just ran a giveaway for Bitcoin.
Well, maybe they're just.
But
supporting.
thank you for coming in to support. He's like my white glove service. I feel like in the pizza now. Anytime I've talked about him before on the show. Anytime I need help with a proposal or anything that I need, he's there. Oh, he says, oh, barnacles. I know, I'm sorry. But hopefully, if Stand With Crypto wants to partner together again, maybe we can do some more giveaways. Or Pizza Dad, or whoever. If you're watching, please, consider us. Your company can go here, DM us for sponsorship opportunities, okay? We are definitely taking requests to get sponsored so that we can do more stuff like this. Not just giveaways, but to come back with real information, have amazing guests, attend these conferences when we know not everybody can, and bring the conference to your home through our live streams. So yes, make sure you can reach out to me. You can also reach out to Keegan. He's got his own brand, Ground Game Strong, and his show that he will have tonight. What time?
Tonight's show, 10K TF Teaching Tuesdays, is at 6:45 p.m. Pacific, and we're gonna have Kyle and Aaron talking about ICP and everything they're doing. And so, gonna try and get the PO app, a Gold Star PO app, going. I gotta submit it right after this, but I don't know. There was a little bit of hiccups with that last week, so we'll see. I'm gonna try and reach out to our contact for white glove service for that to try and get that.
The white glove service, man.
Unfortunately, that's what sometimes it takes to get things dialed in. But I think overall, yeah, I think that's what's going to be happening.
Yes. All right. So we'll make sure to tune in at 6:45 p.m. on your show, 10KTF Teaching Tuesdays. Olivia, here said this is a good question. Okay, so for anyone who's new and watching, right? Olivia says she has a MetaMask wallet. Does that wallet accept BTC? Really good question. So no, as far as I know, as of right now, MetaMask does not accept Bitcoin. MetaMask primarily supports any crypto that's on Ethereum. And so unfortunately, Bitcoin is not on Ethereum. Bitcoin is on the Bitcoin blockchain. So you will need a certain wallet. If you remember, Olivia, I set you up with an Xverse wallet. So I will probably do the same. Here's a good tip. Here's how I helped to onboard my aunt Olivia. So I gave her 3 wallets to check out their website. I think I gave her Coinbase, Xverse. No, I don't think it was Coinbase because we were trying to figure out a decentralized wallet. So it was like Xverse, and a couple of other wallets I can't remember. But basically, all I told her to do was just look at the website. Don't click anywhere. I just want to know what looks user-friendly for her, right? Does it look like, oh, the information they have on there is simple, understandable? Does it make sense? Because, you know, that matters to people who are new and don't understand it at a deep level yet. Just having like a super basic landing page, I think, is super important. So yeah, I will. Don't worry, Angelina. I'll get you set up with a wallet that will accept Bitcoin. So yeah, I think that's a great way to end the show. Congratulations again. Thank you to all 119 people who tuned into today's show. It is much appreciated. Although this is the recap we did today, Creatress, who is the other co-host of There's Layers to This, Keegan was just the guest for today. He's not a regular.
This is not my show. Let me make that clear.
This is not his show.
I'm just supporting this. And just like I supported the filming, this is not something that I built and spent as much time with. I've definitely supported from the sidelines, and I'm just continuing to help support where I can. This is all your guys' building and creating. And yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. So make sure you check out our YouTube. We're trying to grow it. But she also did her recap. She wasn't able to show up today. She went live on Sunday, I believe. So just a couple of days ago. And she gave her own recap. So she has her own experiences, her own stories to tell. And it looks like a good one. I think it's only 45 minutes long, so it's not too long. It's a good time when you're just cooking. Go watch that live stream. So go check her out. And this is not paid by Xverse, but Olivia says, you helped me set up my Xverse wallet. It's very user-friendly to a complete novice as myself. There you go.
She's a novice now. She's not even a rookie anymore.
She's upgraded. Yeah, man. So, sometimes, I mean, like I said, she knows BTC. She knows the acronym. I know she knows a lot more than just BTC now, though, because I know she's absorbing some content.
Is it rookie, novice, amateur, semi-pro, pro, or is it rookie, novice, or rookie, amateur, novice? What's the
I
order?
honestly have no idea. I thought like a rookie and amateur are like the same level. Like I don't know if they're just interchangeable. Like I don't even know. I don't know.
We'll have to look into that. Were you gonna share about what else the other events you were talking about?
Yes, thank you for that reminder. I appreciate it so much. Let me bring that up real quick, because if you've been convinced now you need to get to the next crypto event, I have one for you.
How do I go? When's the next event? How can I make it? Where is it?
Okay, let me bring this up. Let me scroll down. Here we go. No, wait. I need to find the tweet. Oh, here we go. All right. This is going to be the next event Keegan and I will be at doing live streams. We're going to be at Rare Evo 2025. That is August 6th through 10th. And guess what? It's also in Vegas. So Rare Evo is a friendly crypto. It's friendly to all cryptos, all different chains. But they're primarily the Cardano community shows up and shows out there. So if you are curious about Cardano and learning more about that, Rare Evo is going to be a good conference to go to. They will be having their conference at the Caesars Palace Hotel. So that's a really nice one. Bitcoin conference had theirs at the Venetian. So they were going to be having it at the sister hotel, I think, at the Caesars. So yeah, if you want to go, we will be there. We're officially partnered up with Rare Evo. So shout out to Rare Evo. We appreciate the support. And they've given us a code that you can use to get 10% off your ticket. So Red Rug, all caps, one word. That is the name of my event and production company, Red Rug Edutainment. I didn't want to make it too hard for you guys. So just Red Rug. You don't even know how to spell edutainment, although you kind of should know how to spell it. But either way, quick and easy. Red Rug, REDRUG, all caps. And I just realized, wow, that kind of looks like redrug. Yeah, no, the word is not redrug. It's Red Rug. This is a family-friendly show, as Creatress and I usually say. But yeah, go sign up if you're interested. If you can't go, no worries, because Keegan and I will be there live streaming for you to see all the action and get all the best people to come on and interview with us. So looking forward to that.
Yeah, and I think it's also important too for like the 150 or so people that are watching, like if you're planning to go, or if you want your brand or company to be like have a presence through Valerie's company, Red Rug Edutainment, like those services are available. And I don't think it's any one-stop shop. I mean, you can, or it is one-stop shop, but you can do different things, right? Whether that's recording, live streaming, putting the banner on the bottom, see how it says right now, your company can go here, like whatever your company is, as long as you're legitimate and you've been vetted and Valerie agrees with whatever your messaging is, like, I think that there's opportunities in different ways to have a presence. When we were doing the live streaming in Vegas for Bitcoin Vegas, like the logo Stand with Crypto was the overlay. And so, it's a unique way to have your content and your brand showcased while being at an event. And maybe you don't want to just get a booth. Maybe you don't want to sit at a booth and spend $5,000 to just pass out stickers and pass out a flyer. Maybe you want to have something different. And so creating content when you're there on the field, as Valerie just demonstrated, by interviewing or getting a question in with Michael Saylor, then that's just one small example. Like, Valerie,
and the content gets reshared and liked and retweeted by a lot of people.
Right.
So.
And so, like, the fact is, like, you and Creatress were doing interviews in the press lounge, live streamed. And so, for those of you that have bigger accounts or bigger platforms, and maybe you just do a quick retweet and like, all right, we're live streaming from this event at Rare Evo, or maybe
don't
something.
Give them the ideas. Shh, don't give the bigger accounts ideas.
They need to reach out to you.
Support smaller creators like myself.
But that's why I'm pointing that out, is like, it takes a lot, like, to have the production. And so this is me just speaking from my end now, from the technical side. Again, I wasn't in front of the camera. I was behind the camera this time. And so getting the equipment, doing the production, making these overlays, getting the people together it's a lot. Like, this is not like, hey, this is a $50 process. No, there's like hours. And so I think it's important that is starting to be acknowledged, not only from creators such as VDizzle and Creatress, but others that spend a lot of time trying to create something special and unique, whether that's an artist and you're a performance and you're doing performing art, or you're down on the ground reporting and getting information and connecting with the people, boots to the ground, if you will. And so I think those opportunities are unique and untapped. And so, for example, like NFT NYC, maybe there's other companies and platforms and brands or blockchains or ecosystems that want to reach out and be like, hey, you know what? We want to partner with you, VDizzle. We want to partner with Red Rug Edutainment. We want to have some live streaming. We want to have some interviews. We want to have some post content. What can you do and how much does it cost? Like, this is not like a major.
I'm not paying him to shill either way.
I'm not paying either way for this part. This is just me like going off with some details. So I'm just sharing and connecting dots for maybe people that are confused or don't understand like this picture of how this is coming together. Because again, when we were in Bitcoin Vegas, that was one variable of how that can play out. And it took a lot to show up there, to be present, to make an impact. Ground game strong. That's what it is. So that's what we were doing. And so I think like for New York, NFT NYC, which is also another event coming up at the end of June, maybe there's other people that want to participate and be affiliated with Red Rug Edutainment. I don't know.
You can get it as simple as, see how Stand with Crypto, their little shield, the purple shield, that's their logo. It just gets placed right there. Yeah, right below Keegan's screen. So we can do that. We can have that banner where I have, Stand with Crypto. They have their call to action to visit their website and join the fight for fair crypto legislation. So it could be as simple as that, or it can be more. Definitely, if you have questions, come DM me. And if you need a one-pager sheet that explains and breaks it down, can also work with budgets. Let me know, because I don't have to go to these bigger conferences. I also do live streams for my meetups here in San Diego. So if you can't really afford, travel expenses and lodging, I know that gets really expensive. I don't have to go anywhere here in San Diego. I don't have to travel with a flight. or anything like that. So that makes it a little cheaper for you guys who may want to sponsor. So yeah.
I think it's important. And this is one thing I also want to just add to make sure people understand, like, this is different than just showing up with your phone, because when you have like an actual,
it's a real production.
I think that's what I think people maybe don't understand, is that like, to have an overlay with custom logos, with custom links on top of a live stream, to have the equipment to do the live stream in the field is much different than just showing up with your phone and saying, okay, I'm gonna like just do the little stream here on my phone. Like,
I will say real quick, because I don't want to bore these people with sponsorship packages.
It could be anybody.
I understand. Keegan's the teacher. He does the education, and he also loves to uplift people like me, which I appreciate.
Could be anybody. Ape Chain, Abstract, Somnia.
I appreciate it. I will say though, let me just say that it isn't easy to live stream. You don't see a lot of it unless it's like a real like high level production. Like Bitcoin Conference has their own live stream, right? But that's because they have like these large cameras in these cranes and like multiple camera levels, right? This is me, like as a smaller creator, boots on the ground, like being mobile and portable. Like Keegan's following me with the camera, you know? And this equipment costs thousands of dollars, but thankfully with my company, I've been able to save and upgrade to some of this equipment. But yeah, so sorry, I got distracted there. I was like, is Keegan talking to me? It looks like he's on the phone real quick. But anyways, yeah. All that just to say is it's not easy. Not a lot of people are doing it. People can certainly live stream from home, you know, when they're trading. But I've challenged you guys to try live streaming at a conference. And how to get good connectivity is another thing. Because we all know, if you've ever been to a conference or a big event with a lot of tech around, and then you have like these big cemented ceilings and pillars, it makes it really hard to get Wi-Fi. Even if you have a hotspot, you know, I'm not going to share all the tricks in my book, but we have a special device that gets us Wi-Fi no matter where we are. We can be in the middle of the desert, in the middle of the ocean, and you bet Red Rug Entertainment will get you connection. So that's why you should hire me, hire Keegan, hire us, you know. Get in contact with Creatress. She does good work too. So yeah, you're on mute, Keegan. I don't know if you're talking. Oh, you're good. Okay. Anyways, we're going to go. We got to shut this stream down. Thank you again so much for Stand With Crypto, for supporting everything that There's Layers to This is about. We appreciate all the work you guys are doing in the Capitol and, you know, helping us who are in this space and helping to provide fair crypto regulation. And yeah, I hope to work with you guys again very soon. I feel like we will, but either way, I stand with crypto. I support everything you guys doing. Big shout out to Mason and Mariana, Mike, Carrie, Anthony, all of the Stand With Crypto chapter presidents I have yet to meet. You guys are doing amazing work. And if you guys are here in this space, please, please, please go to standwithcrypto.com. If you have not yet, you can go and check them out. You can go see who in your city is for crypto and even against crypto, so that you give yourself the information you need to advocate for the space. And we all know that we're here, and the power of crypto, the opportunities that are here, and we need to make sure we protect that here in the US. So thank you so much. It's been wonderful. I will catch you guys again next time. And thank you, Keegan, for being the co-host today.
And thank you for having me. And thank you for everything that you and Creatress have done here to help build There's Layers to This. You guys did an amazing job during the week in Las Vegas for Bitcoin 2025. And shout out to Stand With Crypto for just being consistent and really doing the good work that, you know, this space needs. And you're out there with the people, you're leading the charge, and I'm just happy to be a small part of it. And, you know, we're going to continue to uplift with that where we can. And yeah, thanks for having me, and thanks for this experience. And I'm glad we got to do what we did out there and bring some knowledge and awareness back for the people, not only now in this post kind of recap, but as well as being there live. And so really excited for things to come and everything that you have going and whatever next experiences come our way.
Definitely. All right. See you, Keegan. We'll see you on your show later. Bye.
All right. Thank you.
All right. See you guys.